So I don't know if you remember, but back when we had the storm, we had a customer reach out to us with pictures of their boat.
She's been through it looks like.
Before they took it out, it's been sitting for a while.
Dang.
So it's gonna take a lot of chemical and a lot of scrubbing.
I hate to say it, but that ain't gonna happen, dude. I'm Jamie Buchanan, and I've been a full-time professional auto detailer for over 32 years. I've been paid to detail and restore everything from fighter jets to multi-million-dollar cars. Any of your buddies want you to come pick them up if you had that thing. To some of the nastiest, dirtiest jobs that no one else in the world would even touch. Oh, God almighty. Now I'm here to bring you pro-level tips, tricks, and advice from professionals in the detailing industry worldwide. But here's the deal. You need to hit the like and subscribe. It's something that your mother would really want you to do. So what we got going on today?
So I don't know if you remember, but back when we had the storm, we had a customer reach out to us with pictures of their boat. And they sent us pictures, it was just of the inside. It had gotten flooded. I guess it sunk a little bit, and there's a bunch of mold that has grown on the inside. It's got a little below deck place, a little couch, a little bed, some carpet, a little kitchen, little bathroom. And it's supposed to be light tan, but most of it's black mold. While it's here, they want us to go ahead and wash the outside.
Okay.
It's not as drastic as the inside, but the main issue is the inside.
Inside, okay.
Yeah, and the motor and the back's pretty rough. Before they took it out, it's been sitting for a while.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's gonna take a lot of chemical and a lot of scrubbing to get that off.
I'd say. So ladies first, go ahead.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You just wanna get a good view from down there, don't you?
Yeah.
So this area, this is about, par of the course for
average.
For what we're used to seeing with boats. The real damage is in his below deck. It's rough.
It's bad.
It's rough, yeah.
Okay. Wow. So the material it's made out of is still like the material that's on the top.
Yeah.
It's gonna clean good. We're just gonna need a lot of protection, right? Some good masks, some good thick gloves. Like, we're gonna have to throw this away, of course. Yeah. All your little stuff we'll have to throw away. But
my worry is mainly, you know how if it's been sitting for too long, it'll scar it and mar it.
Pits it.
Everything up here looks like it's gonna clean up great, but my only worry is really that couch. That's
right here.
Sometimes it looks terrible and it ain't gonna clean, and it cleans great.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, we gotta do a spot and figure out if it'll come off or not.
Yeah, boy.
If you want to take a nap, there's a little spot here for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to lay down.
So we little monkeys. Yeah. Little monkeys.
I don't think that mattress is salvageable.
No, I don't think that's gonna work. Definitely gonna be throwing that away and all the stuff with it besides the cover. We can clean the cover. Yeah, she's gonna be a job.
So, plan is I'm gonna gut it, take all the trash out, throw everything away that we can't save, mattresses, memory foam, sheets, all the trash, that kind of thing. I'm gonna clean the top.
Yeah.
Then I'll do the walls and I'll work my way down. Okay. Everything that can be taken out, like these cushions, I'll take those out and clean them outside. And then work my way down, clean the walls, clean all the cabinetry. The bathroom, it's not like moldy, but it's just a dirty bathroom. And then I'll clean my carpet, clean my nap area, and then that should be good.
Clean the carpet, clean your way out, clean your steps.
I'll use some mold killer with some all-purpose magic erasers, a bunch of towels.
Yeah.
It'll just be spraying, letting it sit, scrubbing it with a magic eraser, wiping it dry, and just kind of rinse and repeat.
Yep, keep on, rinse and repeat.
Okay, so now we've got everything cleaned out, all the trash and all the personal belongings. We're gonna start cleaning it, and we'll work our way from the top and the front, down and backwards. Okay, so right now I've got a magic eraser sponge, and this is just at the very simple level. Magic erasers are almost like a really fine sandpaper, but they're also absorbent. So I'm going to use that to agitate the surface of the vinyl, but it's also going to soak up a lot of that stuff that the chemical is eating off of it. All right, ready? So honestly, that was a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting us to have to do that a couple times to get it this clean. I'm pretty happy with that result. I still am skeptical about these surfaces. These are the worst by far. So if we can get this off without having any scarring or marring, I'll be super happy. But I'm very content with the result we've got already. So, that's a new magic eraser. After cleaning this thing, that's what it looks like. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we have got all the leather and vinyl clean. We've done all the cabinets and we've done the bathroom. All we lack below deck is the carpet. For the carpet, we're going to spray it with P&S's all-purpose. We're going to drill brush it and tornado it. And we've got a little bit of warm weather left this week, so we're going to try to let it air out as much as possible. But at times when it's not going to be warm, we're going to put a little space heater down below to try to heat all that and dry it up. Not only from when we wet it and clean it, but it's still wet from when it was submerged in the lake. So we're going to try to let it air out and heat out as much as possible after we get the carpet clean. So we've got below deck finished, finally. All we have to do on it is vacuum. We have taken the seats out that were all laid on top that make like a couch / a bed type deal. So we're gonna take those inside. We're gonna just clean them the same way we clean all the leather and vinyl and the cushions that are below deck that are made in place. We're gonna spray them with chemical, we're gonna let them sit. They're probably worse off than a lot of the vinyl that was below deck. So it's going to take a while. We're just going to let the chemical do its job and eat most of the mold off. It might leave a little scarring or marring, but can't help that. But we're going to make sure we get all that mold off of it and have a clean surface for the customer. All right, so it is the next day after we have finished below deck. We left the space heater in it overnight to try to dry up all that carpet. It was wet from when we cleaned it, but honestly, it was still pretty wet from when it had flooded. So we're gonna crawl in real quick and check it out and see how dry it is and see how warm it is. Oh yeah. Yeah. So there's definitely a different temperature down here. Carpet's still a little damp. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Hand's a little wet. That's dry. Everything up here is dry. Good thing is today it's going to get up to probably 70 degrees. So we will, after we get up here cleaned, we'll open up the doors and the skylight and try to let some air circulate through here. That should help a lot. But for now, we're going to come up here and we're going to start cleaning the deck side. We're just going to use all-purpose and car wash soap and foam it, and we're going to brush it and clean it. Some sponges, some tire brushes, a long-handled brush, and we're just going to clean all these surfaces right here around the console, the flooring, all the walls, this little fin. It's not too technical because it is it's a hard, durable surface because it receives so much abuse. So just soap, brush, rinse, and dry. So let's get started. All right, so we've got top deck pretty much finished. It's coming along really nicely. All we lack is a couple seats. We're waiting for the sun to go down. That way we can put cleaner on them without risking damaging the leather or it drying out too fast. And then on the inside, we still got to vacuum and put our seats back in it. But other than that, we're done up there. We've come into a problem though that I'm not sure how to fix. Most boats of this size, wake boats, all that, when they sit in the lake for a long period of time, you'll see a water line and a bunch of filth. And so you can see there's your water line and then here's your filth. Usually we would just use whole acid. Whole acid is strong stuff. It eats that stuff off of it right to the paint. You do a little brush, a little agitation, and it comes right off. It's great stuff. My question and my problem is, I think the whole acid is going to tarnish and harm this little coating right here. This is not gel coat. This is on top of the gel coat. It has been sprayed or rolled on. I think people do it to protect it from all that organic growth and all that stuff from it sitting in the lake. I'm not too sure, but I need to check with Jamie to see what chemical I can or can't use, and that will determine how much longer I got, because if I can't use a strong chemical, it's gonna take me a lot longer, a lot more elbow grease. So I'm really hoping that I can use that acid, or he has a different solution that's gonna take it off in no time.
What's up, man?
How are you, sir?
Zoomy zoom.
Yeah.
All the time.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So we're moving on to the outside.
Yeah.
And usually we'd use hole cleaner to clean that hole. My question is, or my worry is that if I use whole acid on that, it's gonna tear up all that coating he's got along the side of the bottom.
So my recommendation would be, I would take some of the hole cleaner,
Do a test spot.
up underneath here where it's not gonna be visible.
Yeah.
Like right in here.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then I would get my pump up sprayer.
With some
With
hypochlorite or
strong-
something? Or no?
I'd probably just use the heaviest all-purpose I got.
Okay.
And the hot water, because that's gonna do a lot.
Okay.
And then you can tail it, let it dry while you're washing something else and be like, that's it. Because you're gonna know if it's gonna change the color.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna know if it really cleans it. And then you can mix and say, okay, this is what I got.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
That's how I would approach it anyway. Cool beans?
Test spot of whole acid first.
Yep.
If that screws it up, obviously don't use it, and then move on to our strongest all-purpose and
Hot
spray
water.
and use hot water.
That's right.
Okay. Because I can't use anything too abrasive, like a Scotch-Brite pad or a thing like that, because it'll tear that up too.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna eat that up.
So a brush and the pressure from the pressure washer at the most, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Not bad.
I was going to ask you to help, but we don't have a ladder tall enough for you to reach the top, you know?
We do, so you couldn't really use that one because we got the real big daddy, ladder, but that extends and extends.
Okay.
But that's okay.
All right.
I wouldn't help you now if I had to.
I'm going to spray it and it'll either turn this different color, I've seen that happen before, or it'll start dripping black, meaning it's eating the paint off. Either one of those means we can't use it. If it doesn't do either of those, we can use it. So, well, here we go. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse it off now, and if it rinses off the paint, then we can't use it. Which, might be in business. It's not dripping black. It hadn't turned colors. We might be okay. And that makes me really happy. I really thought it was going to do something. But we'll let it dry and see if the color's any different than the stuff around it. All right. So I was trying to dry it so I could see what it would look like, speed up the drying process a little bit. But when I went to dry it, I saw as you can see, there was transfer from the protective coating to the rag. So we can't use the whole acid because it's probably going to strip at least some of this coating off. So we're going to do what Jamie said and get some strong all-purpose and make sure the hot water on the pressure washer's on, and we're going to use that option. All-purpose isn't going to hurt it, so I'm not worried about a test spot or anything like that. We'll just probably have to use a little more elbow grease than we would have if the acid would have worked. So I went ahead and filled up our pump-up sprayer with a P&S product called Tempest. Tempest is their heavily concentrated cleaner and degreaser. So we're going to spray this onto the surface of the hull, and we're going to brush it, and then we'll rinse. I've never used this to clean a hull of a boat, so we'll see how well it works. We'll do all of the hull. Once we get done with the hull of the ship, we'll move on to the rest of it. And we'll probably use the same product and foam the rest of it, brush it, and rinse it. You cleaned it pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of spots that it has scraped, and as we clean it, it's going to look like we're stripping the paint. But that's just because you can't see all those bare spots with all the algae and the mold and all that growth on it. So I think we're in good shape now, and we know what to use. We'll go ahead and do everything else. All right, so another day has passed, and we've got this thing fully washed on the outside. Inside of the top deck is finished as well. Besides a couple minor details, as well as the inside, we're pretty much down to finishing touches. Just my only concern is that with the carpet, it's been a couple days since we've cleaned it. When it got here, it was soaked, and then we wetted even more so we could clean it. The top surface looks clean, but it still's got a decent amount of mold smell on the interior. And so I'm worried that there might be mold up underneath it where the insulation is. So I need to ask Jamie what his thoughts are on that. We'll have to get to that another day. I'm hoping he's got a quick fix. I'm hoping we don't have to replace all that carpet on the inside, but we might have to just because of how much water is in it. On the exterior, the all-purpose from P&S, their heavy-duty all-purpose Tempest, worked great. I was really worried that with not being able to use the acid, that we wouldn't be able to clean it as fast, that we'd have to use a little more elbow grease, but it worked great. It took everything off, I think, that the acid would have. We've got a pretty clean boat so far. But like I said, just got a couple finishing touches left, and we'll get with Jamie to talk about that carpet. It's getting there. A little bit left. But
It stinks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really stinks, man.
Yeah. But it's been drying for days. Right? Yeah, space heater, doors open, 70 degrees outside. This is still soaked. I'm worried that there's insulation under here, and that might have mold on it too.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of like this green looking insulation that's there. And oh wow, bro. Wow, it's squishy with it, man. Squishy.
Tucked in there pretty good, ain't it?
Yeah, they did a good job. Just like I said. What'd I say? Look here.
This is the insulation up underneath the carpet.
Look here, there's green, there's mold under it. Look here. Feel that?
Yeah.
That ain't never gonna dry. No. That ain't never gonna dry, man. Like ever, right? Like, look. Here's my pants, my knees. I hate to say it, but that ain't gonna happen, dude. At all.
Do you think you have to take it out?
They ain't gonna replace all that. Like you have to strip all this. It's tucked in up underneath there. That's what I was looking at. It's tucked in underneath everything. Let's look there. Like you'd have to gut this thing.
Yeah.
Take out all the carpets and redo it. Like, man, they're looking at, I'm just guessing, $10,000 for somebody to do it, right? If we tore it out and then somebody else comes back to put it in, you still got to let it dry. You still got to have a mold killer in it, right?
10 grand.
Yeah. Look, you're taking all of this out. Then you're taking this out, and then you're building it back up, and then you're putting this in. It's like building a house. It ain't just pow right there. Like it's all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nah. This thing ain't gonna make it. Just truthfully saying, it ain't gonna make it.
Now I know that customers paying for the exterior, but when this flooded, this is under insurance. So the insurance is covering the interior of this. I think he's already covered the motor. I think he had some work done to it.
Yeah.
Is that something he could think he might be able to get passed through and on his claim, or they probably won't cover that?
I would say they'll scrap it, to be honest. Because here's what happens now. They're already knowing that they have to pay for it. Now what happens when there's an electrical fault? Yeah. What happens when there's an electrical fault and it catches on fire? You know, because you just don't know what the water does to it.
Yeah.
Wherever the corrosion is, what does it break through? Where's there's a ground short or a not touch? So they would rather not assume any more responsibility and say, you know what, let's just end this and be done with this. Yeah, I really don't think they will. I'm going to tell him, again, you think this thing was underwater.
Yeah.
Right, it was underwater. Like you can notice when it's up on the trailer, we're sitting like this. He said it was so full to one side that he was going down the the lake like this because there was so much water in it running out, you know, the drains on the side.
I'd like to give the man a couple different options. That's what I'd like to do. One of somebody gutting it and replacing it all and putting it back together. And then he can decide, he can see if his insurance will cover it or if he wants to pay for it. And then a middle of the road with us, basically us and someone we know, maybe Dave, the upholstery guy, trying to figure out how to gut the main pieces, just those two, and figure out how to replace them. But even that'll be a couple grand.
We're just going to call him and tell him. We'll let him contact the insurance. If they ask us for pictures or videos, like, we can show them. And then we let them make the choice. Look at that. I got a duck. It hit my head.
Oh.
Ha ha. Look at that. I feel like I'm a big man down here. Swope. Look at that. Sorry, guys. I'm bumping my head. Let me bend down.
I've never experienced that before.
I'm going to bend down here so I can get in here so I don't bump my head. God. Well, that come clean. I just now seen what we did. Like, we made a perilous effort, haven't we? Like, wow. Like it. That come out good, though, didn't it?
I think so.
I ain't kidding. Shoot. Take a picture of that. That's pretty freaking nice.
Don't hit your head again.
Try not to. Look at that.
No, you're not used
Feel
to
the boat rocking?
You're not used to ducking.
You feel the boat rocking? It ain't because we're in the water. What's going on? Did you see my pictures? I got it clean, but everything is soaking wet. I mean, we could probably fix it, but I don't know if, you know, like what they want to pay if they want to. Like, I don't really know, man. So, but I know everything in it is soaking wet, so I don't know what that looks like.
So we've had this boat, and we've had to clean it up for a customer of ours. It was an insurance job because during the hurricane, it sunk a little bit. Sunk enough to where he said it was leaning when he was driving it to get it on the trailer. He said it was leaning like that.
Water in the cabin?
Yes. Yeah.
Phew, you're right.
Uh-huh. It's rough.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's regular marine carpet.
Yeah. And that section you're standing on, that's what we've pulled jute out from underneath.
All that is rebond. That's
Okay.
what goes in a house.
Okay.
It's called rebond carpet. It's just, rebond foam rubber. It's just bits of foam rubber glued together.
Okay.
I didn't expect that to be in a boat like this. Was you just thinking of replacing the bottom piece, or you were thinking of replacing everything?
I'd like to I wouldn't think of replacing the carpet. I think we can clean that, I think.
Okay.
But it's a matter of we've got to get it out so we can clean it correctly and get all that moisture out from underneath it.
Well, it feels like the only piece that's got a foam rubber backing is just this bottom piece.
Yep.
By just replacing this, you wouldn't have to pull none of this.
Okay.
Because this runs basically to the edge,
Yeah.
to the edge. You see,
Yeah.
I can get under here with this because it's cut.
Okay.
I can go under that. Well, you can tell there's water.
It's soaked.
As far as replacing that floor, like I say, the only thing we'd have to do is basically pull the carpet up and take that insulation off of that piece of material or put another piece of material down. I would put some foil insulation that does not absorb water.
Okay.
No moisture. It won't. It's a vapor barrier. It's got foil. It's got a plastic vapor barrier in the center, so it can hold water.
Yeah. Okay.
I really think this will dry out.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of monies he's going to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm wondering if we could, because in his head, I don't know how much adjuster is going to total that for. You know what I mean? What's that number that breaks the camel's back?
Can he replace with the number that they're going to give him?
Yes, that's that. I'm curious about that
that's
too.
the main question right now.
Okay.
As far as, you know, the old cliche is anything can be repaired. It's like taking an old car, it's a rust bucket and falling down. It can be repaired, but cost-wise, you know, what are we working with here?
What's up?
What's up?
Not much. You?
I got some bad news.
You tearing something up?
No, it's not that bad.
Oh,
Well, it depends.
okay.
So I remember we were trying to figure out what all the boat was going to need more than what we had originally thought it was going to take.
I remember.
Right? You got in touch with the owner. He then got in touch with his insurance. Adjuster came out a couple days. Well, we just heard back, and they're going to total it.
You serious?
Total loss.
And I was looking forward to tearing that mess out and fixing that. And we already got it that far. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and it's not all because of what's the work left to do on the inside. There's a lot to do with the motor. There's problems wrong with it. So that added on top of what the extra it's going to take on the inside, they just decided to call it. Yeah.
All right. I was really looking forward to taking this thing across the finish line because it already looks amazing.
It looks good.
Yeah, and then
it does look good.
Now it's going to have new carpet and padding too.
Yeah.
But I guess I get it, right? A little bit of electrical problems, motor problems, whatever it may be. So I guess I can see it.
Yeah.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah. Not a feel good type of moment.
No, for sure. It is what it is, man.
Sucks that we're not able to complete the job and do it to the fullest capability that we wanted to. But in this case, there was a lot of other variables outside of the job we were doing that played into the whole decision of the insurance totaling it out. With electrical stuff and as well as the motor and getting it fixed up and ready. You add that on top of tearing those cabinets out, replacing the carpet, doing an atomizer treatment. It adds up really quick, and I can understand the insurance not wanting to fork out all that money. If we were going to continue the job, we talked to Dave. We figured out that we might not have had to take the cabinets out. We could just take that bottom piece out, replace the insulation with waterproof insulation, clean the carpet, put it back in. And as far as the rest of the mold that might be behind the paneling or in some places that were hard to reach, Jamie was actually able to talk to Noah from Marine Detail Supply in Charleston, and he gave him a couple chemicals and tools that would be a mold and mildew killer that you don't have to spray and wipe and scrub. It actually put it into a gun and it atomizes everything, and it will get to all those hard to reach places and neutralize and kill all that mold. So if we're going to continue the job, that would be step 2. Step 1 would be Dave fixing the carpet, and then kind of finishing touches we weren't able to get to as far as making it presentable. We can't foresee all these problems really until we get into it. So a lot of times we'll quote the insurance for what we think it's going to take to clean it, and then we get into it and we realize, oh, it needs more, so we have to go back to them. Sometimes they approve it, and other times like this, because unfortunately they totally lost it. I know I'm not Jamie. I don't have all the jokes or the Jamie-isms as we call them around here, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's been a little different camera angle, you know, going from 5'2" to about 6 foot. Hopefully that didn't throw you off anymore. But I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, share it, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button.